Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, that they have, because he's a wild fringe theorist, and yet, this is why I ask scientists, why do rich people, the ones that pay for you to be a scientific materialist, all your specialized knowledge, they believe in Zecharia Sitchin? What? Do you ever ask yourself that? Why do they think that?
A lot of people don't believe in him, though.
Okay, here's what I do. That's why you got to read Joseph P. Farrell. I told you, that guy's great. Because a very interesting thing about Sitchin, his background, okay? He got into it from his antiquing or something. He's in Rockefeller Center. It's like, who funded him doing all this?
Well, you know,
Out
it's
of Rockefeller Center. I'll give you a hint. It was Rockefeller Center.
You know, I had that guy, Wesley Huff, who's a Bible scholar.
Yeah, I saw it.
Very interesting guy.
Yes, I think he is.
Very intelligent guy. He doesn't believe that Sitchin could really read Sumerian.
Oh, yeah. I was going to add, you were telling me that no one can read Sumerian.
Well, this is what he was saying. And this is a guy that speaks and knows many languages and is a legitimate expert in ancient Bible texts.
Yeah.
In Aramaic, he was explaining the difference between Akkadian and Sumerian and cuneiform.
Yeah, right.
He's a legitimate language expert. And he said, I learned all these other languages, but Sumerian was so hard. It just doesn't work. I just couldn't figure it out. And he said, I don't think that Zecharia Sitchin could read it. I think a lot of people say they could read it and they're lying. He says, I think there's very few people that can actually read Sumerian text.
Who can?
I don't know.
I'd like to ask him who can do it.
I mean, there's courses you can take. But he says it's insane to grasp because it's not connected to any other languages. He's like, there's a lot of these languages that are like similar to other languages and you can find patterns in them. He's like, it's so nuts. It's so like when even we're getting like a translation of the Epic of Gilgamesh, right? Which was I think that was in Akkadian, right?
Akkadian, yeah.
Akkadian, brother.
That's before Sumerian or after?
After they conquered Sumer and their languages sort of intertwined, he explained. But who the fuck knows? No one even knows what any of those words sounded like. No one can say it out loud, which is so nuts. Like that language is so gone that you can't say it out loud. So when someone like Zecharia Sitchin comes along and he has this like detailed explanations for all the things that happened and that this planet called Nibiru had these beings called the Anunnaki who come to Earth and they genetically engineer humans and they knew about our solar system and all this. I don't know how he's getting that because other people aren't getting the same thing. And there's a website called sitchiniswrong.com. Mm-hmm. And so I don't even know if this guy's right. This is the problem. I think this stuff is so weird.
Yeah.
The earliest versions of the origin story of humanity are so weird that I don't think anybody really totally understands how to interpret them properly.
I think there is lots of little groups that think that they have the ancient knowledge of it.
Right.
And it's almost like a Scientology Xenu scam.
Right. Right.
You're right. Like what do you call it? Mystery school. That's the ancient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all that is a religion where I don't tell you what the belief is until you like are in too deep to not believe it.
Right. It's like that movie Going Clear when the writer, was it Paul Haggis, when he gets to like the top levels and then he reads the handwritten notes. He's like, what kind of horse shit?
Dude, so how I got into looking into that was I was like, okay, really wealthy people. I don't think Elon's the richest man in the world. I mean like the real, like trillionaires. Like what is their Scientology that they're into? I just want to know that. And it's very similar. Like Scientology is almost a knockoff light version of the real thing. So they make it like, oh, it's the most sophisticated brainwashing. No, it ain't. It's just one of many. It's just one of many.
Well, I think for a lot of people, it helps them become successful.
Yeah.
I think having a religious framework helps you become successful.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the keys to like these Dagestan fighters in the UFC.
Yes.
Yeah, they're so religious and devout that they're so disciplined that they don't deviate from the path at all. And because of that, they just keep winning.
Yeah, so my question is, who gave these priests back in the day the sheet of passcodes of one weird trick to get in her pants? That's some kind of ancient knowledge that these have.